How can you have a Middle East peace plan which Palestinians were not involved in drafting?
Well, it is a problem. I got to remember that the Palestinians have been very clear that they were not going to be participating in this peace plan from the beginning. From the beginning, the Trump administration had trouble getting the Palestinians to meet with them. Nonetheless, what we need is we need something to break the logjam we have at the moment. There hasn't been any talks for more than 5 years. The Palestinians have rejected talks. This is an attempt to sort of break the logjam and have a new model for peace. The Palestinians aren't obviously going to agree to everything in it, and no one could expect them to, but we need a new basis for negotiations. And I think there are some things in Trump's proposal which can help do that, partly because the Arab states are partly on board with it. They were extensively consulted before the deal was released, and therefore they can sort of hold the Palestinians' hand and help them use this process to get back to the negotiating table, which is the only way that peace can be advanced.
Role wider Arab nations in the region can play in ensuring that the Palestinians have a greater say?
I think the wider Arab region, Arab countries have made themselves irrelevant at the moment to the desires and the struggles and the aspirations of the Palestinian people.
There are some moderate Israelis who do believe that this is equivalent to an apartheid-like regime.
Well, there are a very small number of Israelis who would agree with that. This is not an apartheid-like regime. We have a situation where the Palestinians have never had a state and they wish for one. The idea is to negotiate until they can get one. We want to, the only solution is 2 states for 2 peoples. That's the only solution. Ms. Sabawi, unfortunately, has some very radical ideas which stand in the way of that, like the right of return, which is incompatible with a 2-state solution and is not a right. It's no basis in the international law. Ms. Sabawi can talk about those things, but the only way forward so that the Palestinians can have a state which they've never had is to negotiate, and that has to be dividing the land, and that has to have security arrangements in the short term, which will eventually lead to a 2-state solution.